Thing that I have to ask you, as a sales trainer, what's the biggest audience that you've actually spoken to?
Ooh, biggest audience I believe was either Topo, where I had about 700 in the room, but I led NetSuite's SKO this year, and I had about 1,700 people on that call.
And how do you manage 1,700 people?
Just the chat, right? Just the chat. Like, you keep eyes on the chat, you encourage people to do it, but also, like, I'm looking. Like, I look at the cameras, I see who's on, I click through, like, during all of
Eye
it.
contact, baby.
All day. So that's how I work it.
Perfect. Great. So, what's the one thing that you really like about selling, or as a salesman? What's your favorite thing?
So I love the seduction. So like a lot of people talk about the close being their favorite part.
Yep.
The close to me is not the exciting part. I like taking someone from 0 to 99.
Yep.
I love that sales process, that seduction of like knowing I'm 3 steps ahead. I know what I'm gonna do on the next 3 calls already to set up the 4th call. That's what I love, man, is
The
that
journey, yeah.
that journey. And then the close, well, yeah, like I already know you're closed before it happens, so that part's not exciting to me. I love the process.
Perfect. And the obvious, right? What's the one thing that you don't like about today's salesman?
So today's sales, what I don't like is we've overcomplicated it with tools, with trainings, with topics, with specialization, right? We got LDR, SDR, BDR, MDR, CDR, with AE, channel AE, enterprise AE, mid-market AE, like we've over specialized, and what that's creating is a lot of people that only know how to do a very small portion of the job. And now there's no development. So I think we've over specialized in SaaS sales in a lot of ways.
I like that. So we all know Katie as a sales trainer, as a sales leader, sales guru, right? So if not for sales, where else do you see yourself? If Katie was not in sales, what else do you see Katie as?
Well, see, if I wasn't in sales, I'd probably be in marketing.
Yeah.
But if I wasn't in marketing and money didn't matter, I'd probably be a teacher or a rancher. Like, I would love to teach. I love teaching, which is funny because this is what I do, but like I can't be a history teacher and make good money. So that I would be a teacher probably, or just open up a ranch. Like, I love buffalo, so I'd love to have like a buffalo ranch somewhere and just like disappear into the mountains. That's probably where I'd be if I wasn't in sales.
Quiet place or adventure?
Quiet place, just quiet.
What's the worst sales advice you ever received, probably when you started sometime?
Ooh, worst sales advice.
Or maybe when you look back at it today, you think like, oh shit, that was bad advice.
The one that pops into my was like, just keep calling. Like, so like someone, like I still actually remember this. Like, I was on the phone with them and they hung up, and my manager's like, call them back. I was like, they hung up on me. Why? No, call them back. It's like, called them back. All right. They hung up on me again. He's like, you're gonna call them. Like, so I remember like it was that sort of mindset of like, just call, right?
Yeah.
Like, push people into what they should be doing. That was the worst advice I ever got.
Your favorite book?
Favorite book? Ooh, boy. Genre? This is always a tough one. Like, what category?
Sales book.
Favorite sales book. So I think my favorite sales book is Methods of Persuasion by Nick Kalenda.
I'm gonna go buy that.
Go buy that one because it explains the science of language,
Yeah.
right? That you can then apply to gap selling, you can apply to Sandler, you can apply, but once you understand the science of language, that's when you work. So Methods of Persuasion.
And again, favorite podcast?
Funny enough, I don't listen to podcasts. I have a podcast. I don't listen to podcasts, so I don't have a favorite one.
Too busy.
I am definitely too busy. Definitely too busy.
All right. Your favorite salesperson? It can be somebody who you think is doing really well. It can be somebody who's maybe another sales leader who.
Favorite salesperson? I don't know if I can get favorite. I'm going to give some names here, like people that jump out. So Sean Gentry, David Karch, Liz Lee, Mallory, Natalie Valley, Jenny Eisenberg, like Heidi Williams. These are all people that come to mind as like some of like my top.
You'll see me on that list very soon.
Right, very soon, right? Well, I haven't got to see you sell yet, so I don't know. But like, these are people, not only were they great salespeople, they developed, they grew as salespeople. So those are the people that come to mind off the top of my head.
Beer or whiskey, Guinness or coffee?
Ooh, I mean Guinness for sure, because I can get coffee anytime. So Guinness for sure. And then my favorite whiskey is Glenmorangie 18. It's a Scotch. Love Glenmorangie.
I think, see, in today's sales world, right? LinkedIn, there's so much of information today. Everybody's talking everything. There's a lot of noise, rather, right? That's keep going out. What do you think is the biggest bullshit in today's sales world, in terms of trends or anything in the sales world? What's the biggest bullshit today?
Oh man, I mean, there's a couple. The one that comes to mind first is like this brand building movement of like people becoming experts before they've become experts. So seeing that, because it's clouding like the space, and it's people forget just because one person can do it doesn't mean you can do it. Whereas like if you look at like the advice I'm giving, it's not just what I did, it's what I got hundreds of people to do. So I know it works for other people, not just myself. So I see that bubbling a lot. Like someone's like, hey, I hit quota for a year. Now I can tell everybody how to do it. So there's that. And the other biggest bullshit, truthfully, man, is like we've become so product focused in SaaS that no one studies the prospect anymore. No one knows the industry they sell into. No one understands how they think. If you look at all the advice out there, it's always like how to sell. It's not how to understand the buyer. That's the missing piece for so many companies, and they just don't understand.
Yeah. I love that. What's the best sales advice I think you'd give to sales folks today? Maybe somebody who's starting out in SaaS.
My best would be study the prospect. How do they talk? What do they think about? What is their day-to-day? What problems do they have that you help solve? The better you know the prospect, the better your sales will be. Not the better you know your product. That would be my biggest advice to everybody.
You hear it from Katie, the man himself. Thank you so much for your time, Katie. Before I let you go, one last thing. Outside of sales, who do we think Katie is? Who is Katie as an individual, as a person?
I mean, I'm a son, I'm a father, I am a brother, I am a husband.
Yeah.
I care deeply about people, and I want to see people succeed in whatever it is that they do, whether it's sales or anything else. But like that's who I am, man. Is like I care deeply about people and their success, and hopefully that comes across in my messaging and how I work with people. But that's it, man. I'm a simple guy.
That's Katie in the house, guys. This is 13 Questions with Katie, and I'll see you on the next one.